years. Bert's been here 3.
Well, okay, I guess I got to get going. We got a game.
You guys want to guess at the lifetime gross of Reggie's Prayer from 1996?
$7,000.
$1.2 million.
$52,000.
My son and I invented a football play a few years ago. Here.
1979?
Yeah, Coach Carney was a busy fella.
Busy guy.
I call it the left coast special.
Looks like the quarterback option.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it.
It feels like the name we have heard popping out of Packers training camp the most over the last few days has been one Romeo, oh Romeo, Doubs is everywhere Romeo. I am seeing Jair Alexander singing his praises. I am reading about him in The Athletic. I am reading about him in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. I am seeing that Doubs, Romeo Doubs, is making a case to be the number 1 wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. Chew, would it surprise you if he was the guy, if he emerged as the guy, as Jordan Love's number 1 target in the 2024-2025 season?
No. But it's cupcake training camp.
Every day, every time.
You know. And
So,
you know what?
Are you telling me you're getting whiffs of all-o-night? Is that what's going on here?
No, because he's already proven himself.
Okay.
But I want to see it. Just does Jair annoy anyone other than me? It's just annoying. If I just have shades of a guy who I used to play with that I can't stand.
Whomst would that be?
You know who it is. Romeo Doubs is really good because he beat me one time.
Oh, you're saying that Jair is kind of inflating Romeo Doubs to explain why he's gotten the best of him at practice.
I just don't like how he goes about. He just bothers the
I'm really good, so to beat me, you have to be really good.
Yes.
Which would not be the worst thing in the world for Packers fans, right? If that were the case.
If it was true.
Well, what makes you think it's not?
I don't know. I have to see. I mean, put it this way. One-on-ones, it's the easiest thing to do for a receiver/tight end. There's no rush. There's no nothing. It's you and him. You know where you're going. You got all this field in front of you. There's nothing else. So if we're measuring it based upon that, or 7-on-7, everything in those drills are stacked towards the offense. Just like when we would do one-on-one against linebackers, blocking or pass blocking them, they have the advantage.
The offense.
No, the defense does.
Oh, the defense.
If
in
it's
that
me
situation.
run blocking against an outside linebacker.
But in this situation, you're saying that the offense has the
Offense has the advantage. Yes.
Okay.
So you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt.
I think,
but the third year, I will say this, Jen, the third year is very important, you know.
I thought it was understood we take everything out of training camp with a grain of salt. Other than, and we'll talk about this as the show goes on, we've got Jason Wilde coming up not too long from now. Other than like where guys are being slot on the offensive line, because I think there is some merit to seeing, Jordan Morgan playing right guard in practice. They obviously think that might be somewhere where he can make waves for this offensive line. That to me pops. Like, okay, that gives me an indication of maybe how the team is going to use that player. But all of the one-on-one competition stuff, who gets beat, who got the best of what rep, I don't know. Because again, to Chew's point, I don't know how much you can take from that.
Who's going out there with the number ones is the most important thing.
Yeah,
because that gives you a look into to Jen's point, it gives you an idea of what the coaches are thinking. So if Doubs isn't one of the top 3 receivers, if it's instead Wicks and Reed and Watson, who are the top 3 receivers, and they get like the first 4 reps at wide receiver in the full team period, to me that probably means more than Romeo Doubs beating Jair Alexander in a one-on-one rep.
Well, when it comes to Morgan, you don't know if them plugging him in there is like, hey, he's our first round pick. It's not look like we screwed up here. We have to put him in somewhere. You just don't know.
But it
With
gives you an
Doubs-
idea of wherever they land on the offensive line. It kind of gives you an idea of what they want to do, because versatility has always been important for offensive linemen with the Packers.
Yeah.
So, okay, they want to see if he can handle this in case there's an injury. They can slide him here or they can slide him there. So the offensive lineman alignment is somewhat important. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but I think it's somewhat important.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, there's things like the running back position, like, he had a nice gain on this play. Well, let me tell you what. I don't even know if they go thud anymore. A linebacker is not coming downhill in a training camp practice where there's no tackling or anything like that, as opposed to a game.
Is there any
So how do you
change
measure
to-
a running back on? He gained 7 yards there.
Yeah,
Really?
I get what you're saying on that. Excuse me. Is there any stipulation, though, when there is also a battle at the opposing position? So you're talking running backs and you're talking linebackers. Running backs. Oh, okay. I guess we're doing that today. Running backs and linebackers. If there is a battle at the linebacker position, because I was reading that Edgerrin Cooper was not rolling with the ones yesterday at practice, does that change that shoe? If you've got guys like Isaiah McDuffie and you've got other guys out there who are actually trying to Eric Wilson is a name that you're seeing at linebacker. Does that change it? Because he's going to be going, pretty hard out there.
No, they just want to see if they can play. Because there is such a difference between your ones and twos. There is. It's a huge drop-off. So they have to put him in with the ones to see, hey, if something happens to our starting linebacker, can this guy step up and play? That's why they have to stick him into those situations. That's why most times when you go team, it's rarely ever ones against ones. It's always number one offense against the number two defense, number one defense against the number two offense.
If you were in a position battle the way that the linebackers are, would there be days where the coaches said, hey, we want to get extended reps for this guy, so all day you're going to run with the ones, and maybe the next day you just flip-flop it instead of, we're just going to trade off reps, or you get 3 reps and then you get 3 reps, and instead you kind of get more of a flow throughout the course of a practice?
At this point in camp, yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you think? Gabe, is that what you think is happening with Wilson?
It's certainly possible. I don't know. I mean, it's just something that kind of crossed my mind when you're going through a big-time battle like that, trying to fight for position. Because sometimes it all depends upon what offense is called, right? Like, if you only have 3 plays and the next guy gets 3 plays, like maybe one of the 3 you had an opportunity to shine, whereas, linebacker, the next 3 plays are pass plays away or, run plays away, and there's just nothing for you to showcase what you do.
Like where we'll really be able to find out is who are they scrimmaging? Baltimore practicing with?
Oh, I don't even remember who they're sharing.
So
who they're doing joint practices with.
Yeah, they're doing joint practices here. Give me a second.
That's when we'll really know. Because they'll be going up against.
Yeah, well, so Baltimore will be here. I think they're doing one with Cleveland as well before they
Let's
play
see.
the
And
Browns.
this thing is just so fluid, Say Doubs pulls his hamstring, then he's to the back of the line, and someone else has to emerge. What I want to ask Jason is the guys we're not hearing about. We're not hearing about Watson. We're not really hearing about Van Ness.
I saw something about Watson yesterday.
He's caught deep passes in each of the last 2 practices.
But
Practice ended on the next play with Stokes intercepting Love on the goal line on a pass intended for Watson, who appeared to not cut to where the ball was thrown. Mostly it was a timing thing for me, Watson said. I thought I would have a little bit more time to work the route, but it was an all-out pressure. I got to get there a little bit quicker.
Like the thing that drives me nuts is these guys talk about touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah.
Stuff. You know how easy that is for the offense? You know how easy it is for... Normally, you have to sift through 9 pounds of crap even to get into your route. 7-on-7, you got nothing. La, la, la. It's so... Stop
Did you sing to
gushing
yourself?
over it. It's so easy.
You're running a crosser in the end zone. You were singing to yourself in the 7-on-7s.
Yeah.
I hate how he comes on the radio and he's like, the Emperor has no clothes. Why does everyone keep acting
But I mean,
like the Emperor is wearing clothes?
I
He
feel
is
like I'm taking
naked,
crazy
strutting around out there.
Can I just... one question, and someone please... Did they gush like this in 96 and 97?
I mean, I was 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I don't
Twitter didn't
remember.
exist.
Yeah. I mean, they had training camp reports. I would remember reading stuff in like the Journal Sentinel back
I mean,
then,
if
but
a quarterback is throwing interceptions in 7-on-7, go to the USFL, please, or whatever. I mean, that should not happen. It is such an advantage for the offense.
Let's hear from Jair Alexander, who was talking about the wide receivers. We were talking about Romeo Doubs.
Chewy's fired up, so
having
let's
a
fire him up some
conversation
more.
about the guy, could he be wide receiver number one? Let's hear what Jair had to say yesterday.
Who's one of the guys we need to really keep an eye on this year that's going to emerge for that receiver group? You got someone in mind, I can tell.
You know I do. I mean, I got a couple of them. I know. I mean, like I said before, Romeo Doubs approaches the game like a pro.
Yeah.
You can see it in his third year. I mean, he goes about it the right way. I mean, that dude's probably going to get double and triple teamed all year. The next step up is Jaden Reed. Man, young kid is electric, man. He can go. He can fly down the field. I mean, and then you got a whole lineup. But right now, like I said, Romeo Doubs is slowly becoming one of my favorite receivers in the league.
Triple teamed, huh? Really?
Is it good if Romeo Doubs is the wide receiver one?
Someone's got to be.
Based on his physical limitations in comparison to the other guys?
Well, he's going to be triple teamed, so probably going to use him as a decoy.
Wicks is going to be wide open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if he's getting triple teamed,
Musgrave's going to be able to stay on his feet.
Who is this buffoon defensive coordinator who's triple teaming Romeo Doubs? And how did Joe Barry get another job so quickly?
I don't know. See, as soon as he said that, you just dismiss it. I'm like, whatever. Am I right?
It kills me, though, a little bit because I do think that most fans are looking for things to be excited about, right? We talked about Jordan Love signing the big deal and how that's an exciting moment for fans because they've locked up their guy for the future, puts the NFC on notice for a lot of fans out there. You want to hear the things from training camp. What's going well? Who's winning those battles? Who's playing in what spots and all of that? And Chewy just keeps going,
But it's like
old
day
raspberry.
one.
But
Day one. Rashawn Gary looks unbelievable in no pads. Had 3 sacks
against a guy.
Is he still on the roster? Is he still on
I think
the team?
he's still on the roster
I
as
think
of
he's
right
gonna
now.
be on the team.
So you have to.
He's not making
You
it.
have to filter through all this stuff because drills are geared. Like I said, towards the offense has the advantage or the defense has the advantage.
But to your point, you do want to get excited about something, but the second you hear him say, oh man, this guy's going to get double or triple teamed all year. All right, now you went too far. Now I can't get excited about this because now you're selling too much. You're selling over the top. Now I know that this is BS because nobody's triple teaming Romeo Doubs.
Yes.
Is there anyone in the league that is getting triple teamed? This isn't basketball. Like
Giannis in the Olympics?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great, I don't know if you
Bo
haven't seen that
Jackson
image.
Nintendo. They should have triple teamed him.
If you haven't seen that image of Giannis in one of the recent games where he's playing for the Greek national team, he is there with the ball, and you can see the entire rest of the team and not another Greek player in the shot. It is unbelievable. 800-990-3776, talking about training camp today, and do you want to see Romeo Doubs emerge as the number one wide receiver? Because Joshy brings up a good point. Is that good for the Packers if he is the guy? Like, Josh, do you have a preference? Would you rather it be a different guy on the Packers team? Would you rather it be by committee because that's what we think it is going to be for this Packers squad this year? And they don't have a first-round draft pick, obvious draft pick, who's going to step into that spotlight. So what is your preference of how it shakes out for the wide receivers?
I do think the Packers need a wide receiver one to emerge, and I think it will eventually happen throughout the course of the season. The Romeo Doubs thing is he's just physically limited in comparison to the other guys on the field. He's great at catching the ball, great in contested situations, great route runner.
Because he's always in contested situations.
Right. But he's also, James Jones is like his ceiling. A guy like Christian Watson could be like a top 10 wide receiver in the league because of his physical abilities. Dontavian Wicks is a lot better. Jaden Reed with the ball in his hands could be like Deebo Samuel. Those are all guys that have really high highs. It's just Romeo Doubs' ceiling's limited.
He's nice.
He's a lovely option. Lovely.
Doubs. He's nice. He's a nice player.
Good to have on
Maybe
your team.
he did emerge. I don't know. But I need to see him route run, and I want to ask Jason, who does he remind you? I mean, he wears number 87, so I automatically want to go to Robert Brooks.
He's not as fast as Robert.
Who was an unbelievable route runner.
Yeah.
In all my years, Robert Brooks might have been better than Sterling. Might have been the best route runner I've seen. Puts it in the ground, doesn't need a few steps to stop. It was in the ground, out of his cut, so flipping. But Robert was tiny.
Mm-hmm.
and he got the snot beat out of him. Like I'm looking at a headline here. Despite numerous slash plays, Grant DeBose might face a tall order breaking into. I can't because it cuts you off. And I ain't paying for their stupid service. But I mean,
well, how did we get a Monday Chewy on Thursday? How did this happen?
I've been sending too much
I can
propaganda.
only handle so much gush. You know what I mean?
Put it on the poll, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Is there too much gush coming out of Packers training camp? I think it's a fair question. Look, I am interested in, I read the entire Matt Schneidman on The Athletic. He did sort of a play-by-play, position-by-position, one-on-one by one-on-one. I really enjoyed it. Again, there is a lot of useful information out there. I think Chewy's point is, take it for what it's worth. And you're saying it's not worth much. We've got Jason Wilde coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We will certainly ask him what has stood out. And, oh, by the way, did the Green Bay Packers make a big announcement yesterday about an all-white everything? We'll talk about that with Jason and more as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on.
As we're getting closer to the weekend, you know you want to have that freezer stocked up with Palermo's Pizza. You're going to be going out, you're going to be doing something, you're going to get home for dinner time. Man, I don't feel like making dinner. That's where Palermo's comes to the rescue because you're still going to have something that's absolutely delicious. And you're going to find a slice that everybody in your family loves. Because when we're talking about Palermo's, we're not just talking about Palermo's. We're talking about Urban Pie, Connie's, Surfer Boy Pizza, Screamin' Sicilian, all underneath the umbrella of Palermo's. And when it comes to frozen pizza, nobody does it better. They've been doing this for 60 years. That's why they have so many different brands, and they've been able to nail all those flavors in all those different brands. Find them in your grocer's frozen food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, northbound on 43, going to be a bit backed up from about Locust up to Key, so little spot there. Eastbound 94 starting to slow down now, coming out of the Stadium interchange, heading towards 27th Street. An accident on northbound 894 north of Greenfield Avenue is off on the right shoulder. Just watch for that. And then 894 westbound going to be backed up basically from just west of 27th Street all the way to 68th. Traffic is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Book your fantasy football draft party for your free draft kit, free room rental, free appetizers, and more. Dave & Buster's, your ultimate fantasy football draft experience. Visit dnbparty.com to get started. And check in the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, slight chance for morning rain, then scattered evening storms, a high of 85. Tonight, showers and storms early with a low of 71. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hear that? The sound of your antique fountain pen gliding across linen paper as you journal in the park. And if you were here, you'd be inspired by the warm breeze. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the wind in your face on the road is all the inspiration you need. So if you ride, get a quote and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Now that's inspiring. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What are your self-care non-negotiables? Sometimes it's hard to make time for the things that keep you healthy, but being consistent with self-care is like working a muscle. And when life gets crazy, that muscle keeps you strong. Therapy is the ultimate self-care, and BetterHelp makes it easy to get started with affordable online sessions so you can do it from anywhere. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/like today to get 10% off your first month.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's still summer in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc has you covered for fun in the sun. From bike nights to Saturday rides, or maybe just some retail therapy like a new motorcycle, or just a little something for yourself, there's always something going on. Check out Wisconsin Harley-Davidson at WISHD.com and like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at WISHD.com. Don't just see the world, feel it. Right here, right now. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Of our week, no doubt, getting to chat with Jason Wilde, who is our eyes and ears to Packers training camp. Good morning, Jason. How are you this fine Thursday?
I'm great this fine Thursday. How are you guys?
We are good, although Chewy is very skeptical. He thinks there's too much gushing coming out of Packers training camp, and he's talking about Jair, talking about the wide receivers and Romeo Doubs, and he just wants everybody to kind of pump the brakes and recognize that it's good, but it's not an indicator of future success. Where do you stand on Chewy's position?
Get off my lawn.
No, well, did you know they're going to triple cover Doubs this year? Jason, were you aware of that? Triple coverage.
I was not aware of that, but I will tell you this, my friend. We've got the ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy Football Draft tonight at Dave & Buster's in Tosa. And so I'm working ahead on my writing this morning. And I just finished my Romeo Doubs story for tomorrow morning's Wisconsin State Journal. And Jair Alexander earlier in the week said that the two best wide receivers in football are Devontae
Adams.
Devontae Adams, sorry.
Jinx.
I'm not sure what happened there. And Romeo Doubs. And, of course, when you say something like that, I roll my eyes. And then I think, well, about a year plus ago, he snuck up behind Jordan Love while he was talking to us and put his arm around his neck and shouted, QB1, best QB in the league. And I rolled my eyes. And then I look at what Jordan Love did during the second half of last season. And was there anybody playing the position better than him during the final 8 weeks of the season? So maybe I shouldn't be so quick to dismiss Jair Alexander. Look, Romeo Doubs has cooked Jair Alexander in one-on-ones. He is their best red zone receiver. I mean, he gets open. Now, yesterday, Dontavion Wicks did have a touchdown and then the 2-point conversion. So he's not the only one that can be productive in the red zone, but he had the most red zone touchdowns for the Packers last year. He's got a lot of really, really good qualities, and I think we have a tendency to undervalue him. You know, he's really even-keeled. He's frankly kind of boring, but he's a better player than we give him credit for. Now, is he going to draw triple coverage? I don't believe so. No, that was you exercising hyperbole.
No,
but
that's what. No, Jason, did you not hear that comment? Did you not hear that quote directly from Jair on the NFL Network yesterday?
I did not. No,
he said that Romeo Doubs is going to be double or triple teamed. Joshy, do we have it? Let's just play it. Chewy is not being. I mean, he's rolling his eyes as he's saying it sarcastically, but Jair did not sound sarcastic on the NFL Network yesterday.
I can tell. I do. I mean, I got a couple of them. I know. I mean, like I said before, Romeo Doubs approaches the game like a pro. Yeah. You know, you can see it in his third year. I mean, he goes about it the right way. I mean, that dude's probably going to get double and triple teamed all year.
Yeah, the last part's not, I doubt is true because of what else they have, but the first part is true. I mean, he is.
But Jason, the problem with overselling it like that, when you say something like that, it makes me doubt everything else that is said before that.
Well, right, but what did I just say about the QB1 thing, right? Like, look, you have to take things that Jair, kind of like sometimes you have to take things that Chewy says, and try to put them in perspective, right? Like, they may be slightly overstatements. There's no doubt about it. This is how he is wired. But try to forget about the triple coverage stuff and think about the messaging, even if you don't necessarily love the way he goes overboard about it. His messaging on Romeo Doubs is not inaccurate. It isn't. He's been, Josh, he was kind of prepping me while I was on hold before we started the segment and talking about maybe how some guys we haven't been talking about some of them. He's right. Like, I think, and I don't know if this is through any fault of his own, but so far in camp, I was just saying this to Domofsky when we were standing at practice the other day together, it feels like Luke Musgraves had a really quiet camp. Like, a year ago, we're talking about how he runs at the most miles per hour of any of the Packers pass catchers, and, like, I don't feel like we're spending a whole lot of time talking about him in camp. I've seen Christian Watson, almost once a day since Love has been back, catch a deep ball from Love that was perfectly placed, and he ran past his defender. But beyond that, I don't feel like there's been a huge, Christian Watson buzz. He has been on the field. He hasn't missed any time, which should probably, given his track record, cause us to be buzzing about him a little bit more. But Doubs Jair Alexander may be engaging in his brand of public praise, but don't mistake his exaggeration for inaccuracy. Romeo Doubs has been that good. He really has.
Who does he remind you of, Jay? And I'll tell you this: Robert Brooks, and I played with a lot of receiver, was the best route runner I've ever played with. Better than Sterling, better than anyone. His problem was he was small and he got the crap beat out of him. But who does he remind you of as a route runner, if he's that good of a route runner?
Yeah, so his overall game reminds me of James Jones. I think James Jones was a really good route runner. He had really, really strong hands. Now, early on in his career, as we all remember, he had some issues with drops, but I think he was as good as anybody at resolving those through sheer work ethic. He was a bigger guy, right? He was stronger. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he was a smooth athlete. So that's who I usually comp him to. Mm-hmm. But, again, when you do that, then people say, well, James Jones was never a Pro Bowler. James Jones was always the second or third receiver during his time in Green Bay. I mean, the dude did lead the NFL in touchdown catches one year. Like, he's probably one of the more underrated pass catchers during the Rodgers era, right? Like, he's on the cover in 2011 with all those other guys, but you didn't really focus on him. And so, obviously, if we're going to put this kind of praise on Romeo Doubs' name, he's going to have to be more productive than James Jones did. I think James Jones' most yards with the Packers were in the year that he came back after Jordy tore his ACL in 2015. But again, if you go into Love's audio yesterday from when we talked to him, and this is another important thing to point out, he works out with Love during the off season. They're in the same area in California, so they get together a bunch. But somebody told Love yesterday about what Jair had said about Romeo, and his quote was, "Romeo's definitely one of the best. I'm glad Ja's putting respect on his name because he's definitely one of those guys. I think this year he's going to have a breakout year and going to make a huge name for himself." So are we going to get after Love for overstating things? Because those are pretty big. That's pretty big praise, again, from a guy who I would argue doesn't usually say things that are quite that strong.
So is it a bad thing for the Packers if Romeo Doubs ends up being wide receiver one? Because if we were going to compare him to James Jones, and James Jones had his best receiving year when he came back in 2015, I remember that offense, Jason. It wasn't. There were some rough times.
Yeah, but come on, Gabe. Come on. I mean, who else did they have? They had a beat up Devontae Adams. They had a beat up Randall Cobb. In 15, who was playing tight end for them at that point? Richard Rodgers. Like
he had a hell of a catch in Detroit.
He did, and tell me about all. He also had a hell of a catch in a playoff game in 14 against Dallas. And then, if you'd like to come up with any other catches of his that you remember, let me know.
So my larger point, Jason, is the other three that we talk about with the four seem to have a higher physical upside, and if Romeo Doubs ends up being wide receiver 1, I think part of that is because the other three aren't living up to their potential. Because there is a ceiling on Romeo Doubs because of his physical limitations.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's fair to just now anoint him because of the praise, right? Because you guys are right. It does feel like a lot. But again, it comes from one guy who engages in hyperbole all the time and another guy who really doesn't. So I would say this. Like yesterday, again, I thought, at the end of the 2-minute drill, when Love buys a little bit of time and finds Wicks in the back of the end zone and then hits Wicks on the 2-point conversion under pressure, throws the ball before Wicks has even started to come out of his break. So the ball is on top of him literally as he turns around, and he makes that catch. That they have guys that are more, I would say, purely talented, right? I mean, look, you watch enough practice, and if you look at what Christian Watson is doing on deep balls, you're like, okay, this guy's unbelievable. The problem, of course, is what is realistic to expect from him, despite all the happy talk about solving the differential between his two hamstrings in terms of the asymmetry in his hamstrings, right? We'll see if he plays. If he plays all 17 games, I'm not going to say anything outlandish, but I will be surprised. Wicks finished last season, he had 29 of his 39 catches in the final 8 games, and he missed 2 of those 8 games with injuries. So his arrow is pointing up. But the guy that has at least the greatest track record of any of these guys at this point is Doubs. And I just don't want to be dismissive when the quarterback says things about him, because he would know. And so when he's talking about having a breakout year, and it's not Jair just being Jair, and it's Jordan Love saying that, I don't think that that's going to mean bad things for this offense. And I don't think it's going to be like the year that Jones had his most yards as a receiver for the Packers was in that 15 season. He had 890. Like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Doubs is that, air quotes, number one receiver, and yet he doesn't have like 1,500 yards like Adams did. He has like 970, because they're still, in my opinion, still going to be very balanced in terms of who catches passes. Like last year, it was Reed 793, Doubs 674, Wicks 581. And then obviously Musgrave missed all that time, and Watson missed all that time. So those were the three that had the most yards receiving. Let's just say you bump each of their totals up by 150 yards or whatever it might be, and there's still kind of some combination of those three at the top, I'm not going to be surprised by that. And if Watson is healthy, he's going to take away yardage from those other three, because he is going to get the ball. So, again, I hate that phrase, the good problem to have, but if Romeo Doubs is the guy you go to on third down, the guy you go to in the red zone, and even if he doesn't have significantly more receptions or yards than the other receivers, I think if he's the guy that you go to when the game is on the line or in clutch moments, if you have that balance of a wide receiver group, then he's your number one, whether you want to call him that or not.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, everybody. We'll see you tonight. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde will be at our ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Wisconsin fantasy football draft tonight at Dave & Buster's, as we will as well. And you can hear him on Wilde and Tausch right after this very program here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Is your business looking
More
for
Jen
localized
Gabe.
banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment with your business in mind. Fifth Third is big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, but also empowered to make local decisions and work from a foundation of strong community connections. Commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident on northbound 894 just north of Greenfield Avenue is going to be affecting your ride. It's just before you get onto the ramp to get onto 94 eastbound, so just heads up. It's off on the right shoulder, though. Eastbound 94, backing up from Mitchell Boulevard all the way through to 27th. The westbound side, about the same thing, 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. And the northbound on 43, we're seeing some backups coming up from about Locust up towards Capitol Drive. And southbound side slow right past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Slight morning chance for rain, scattered afternoon and evening storms with a high of 85. Tonight, showers and storms early with a low of 71. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on!
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go!
This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Temps are heating up, and so are the ticket deals this summer with Vivid Seats. Whether it's scoring tickets for a night out at the ballpark or witnessing the rising stars of women's basketball, Vivid Seats has you covered. With a robust rewards program and wide selection of tickets, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you the peace of mind for the ultimate fan experience. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What are your self-care non-negotiables? Sometimes it's hard to make time for the things that keep you healthy, but being consistent with self-care is like working a muscle. And when life gets crazy, that muscle keeps you strong. Therapy is the ultimate self-care, and BetterHelp makes it easy to get started with affordable online sessions so you can do it from anywhere. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/like today to get 10% off your first month.
NFL Plus Premium is your ticket to the NFL offseason.
With the first pick in the NFL Draft.
Catch all your favorite offseason coverage and stream exclusive content from the NFL Draft, training camp, free agency, and more. Relive the biggest plays from the season with full and condensed game replays.
He's in! Touchdown!
Plus, stay connected with 24/7 football news and coverage on NFL Network. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The source
What's a click below dumb?
You. No.
That's fine. No, that's what I was getting
Good
at.
pop. Good pop.
I know.
Unnecessary.
I'm not dumb. I'm one click below dumb. We need to find out what that word is.
Don't you want to be one click above dumb?
Oh, that's right. I'm one click above.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you missed any of our conversation with Jason Wilde, you can, of course, find that on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcast. Interesting stuff from him on whether or not we should be buying the Romeo Doubs hype. Look, Chewy thinks there's too much gushing coming out of training camp anyway. We put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. Is there too much gushing coming out of Packers training camp? And if you listen to the show regularly, you know where Chewy is coming from on that one. There was some interesting news coming out of Packer land last night. Couple of images that showed up on social media. White uniforms. Teasing the alternate jersey option that appears to be the Packers in an all-white ensemble. And I thought people would be excited about it. I thought people would be like, hell yeah, change it up, looking sharp. No, people were very upset. Joshy, why were people upset?
Apparently, people don't like the idea of a white helmet. They want to keep tradition with the yellow Packers and the G. I didn't know it was such a big thing. I thought that was kind of reserved for old people who tell you they watched in the 60s, so they're a better fan than you. But even the young people are mad about it, which was surprising to me.
Well, that's indoctrination is what that is. Chewy, do you have an issue with an all-white look for the Green Bay Packers?
I don't, but I know someone that does. By the name of Frankie Bag of Donuts Winner, where the story came from, because the story came from, and O-line may hate it, because white makes you appear bigger than you obviously are.
Or
so they
the
had
size
to wear
you actually
white. and
But so he wants all black because it's slimming?
Some optical illusion happening over here.
John Madden saw Frankie in all white, and he goes, "You look like one of those bag of donuts that were all white that you used to carry around."
Origin?
That
is how it came about.
Oh, you've been sitting on this forever?
I thought everybody knew.
You've told that.
That's where Bag of Donuts came from.
Because he was wearing an all-white uniform.
Yes.
And he was lumpy.
It wasn't slimming.
So what you're saying is Frank is, hey,
he is
all black Packer uniforms.
Yes.
All black.
Yes.
I'm all in on alternate looks. I love that you've got tradition. In the college football space, this exists as well. There are people who always talk about how Alabama should never change from its traditional uniform because it looks so sharp. Sure, whatever. But at the college level, guess what kids get excited about?
New
alternate
unis.
uniforms,
Yeah.
right? Like now you can go to the other extreme and be Oregon and have a different uniform for every week, which again is nice if you got that Nike money, which I know Dan Lanning has talked about recently on the Pat McAfee show. But at the NFL level, I like changing it up. I will say this. If you're going to change it up, you do want to make sure it looks sharp. There is nothing more unattractive than those brown pants that they whip out for those Acme uniforms with the blue. Those look bad.
Rodgers loved those. They said they were the most comfortable pants.
Yes, comfortable. I'm talking about attractiveness. They were very unattractive.
What if they just flip the colors? So what is yellow make green, and what was green make yellow?
So
how would that
an
look?
Inverted jersey?
Yeah.
So
I think that would look cool.
Yellow jersey, green pants.
I have to
Green
imagine
helmet.
that exists. Like somebody's done an edit. I mean.
And then
Like
the
in
socks,
Madden or
the
whatever,
socks
create.
would be yellow. I think that'd be cool.
I got to think too hard about all the different changes that would have to happen.
I'm
there.
having trouble remembering which colors are
I remember
which now.
back in the day, Ron wanted to change the colors to more of Notre Dame. So get rid of the yellow and make it gold.
Mm-hmm.
And people went crazy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they went crazy.
So
even though they're considered the green and gold.
Yes.
No one says green and yellow. Well, except for that one song.
Yeah.
Green
Lil Wayne
and yellow.
does.
Right. Yeah, Lil Wayne. That's who it was.
No, that
I
was
am looking
Wiz
at the pack.
Khalifa. Hold on.
He
Black
was
and yellow?
Black and yellow.
Yes, so that's black and yellow. But
Which
Lil
is-
Wayne did a green and yellow
I
song
didn't
because he's a
know.
Packers fan.
No. I never heard it.
First of all, the fact that you pulled Wiz Khalifa,
he was confident about
shook.
it. He was shook. Hey, wait just a damn second. I got to stand up for my boy Wiz here.
I am looking at an infographic right now on Packers.com that does have a list of, or I guess more accurately, pictures of the uniforms over the years. And yes, you've got the Acme Packers in the navy blue. You've got a gold-ish version. Maybe that's what Chewy was alluding to. A then blue and yellow. And then you've got the green and yellow. There is a white one here that I'm looking at before you get to the traditional dark green, yellow and white stripes on the sleeves and on the neckline. But I really like the idea of them stepping out there in all white. Joshy, was there any additional information about when this will be, who they'll be facing? Will it be a night game? Like, I think all of that adds to like the drama and mystique of wearing the all white uniforms.
For what I can tell, it appears to be a home game that they're planning it for. And they have not given any indication of when they are teasing it. So I imagine later today we'll probably have a plan of when a full uniform reveal with the date that it's going to be worn on.
Yeah, and the helmet's going to be white.
Yes.
Because they've done like the white out when they were on Thursday games. You know, you did the color out and the Packers did all white. So they've done that before. The only reason to keep the helmet a mystery is because it's going to be white.
Yeah, and if you look at the first picture, their editing isn't so great. You can see part of the helmet. You can just see the white helmet.
I think the coolest unis in all of college football, Penn State.
But that's a very traditional look, Chew.
I love that all white look. Can't wear black shoes with it, though, because it makes you slow. That's the only thing.
That's a classic football. Our football coach sophomore year made us all wear black shoes and black socks to make us look slower than we were.
Oh, really?
I'm going the other way.
Yeah, trying to fool them.
Look,
I mean, we did run the wishbone.
I didn't need to look any slower.
It wasn't doing me much service.
Feels like the stopwatch was doing all that work for you, huh, Chew? Let's put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll this morning. I like the idea of a white helmet. I think it's going to look slick. I think, I'm looking at these highlights up there as Get Up is on the televisions above us, and you're seeing the Buffalo Bills they're wearing. They're all whites. They look very good. They got the big blue Buffalo. I imagine you'll get the big green or yellow G on the helmet, but other than that, I think it's a good look. Face masks white as well?
Yeah, those are going to be white.
I think it looks sweet.
Sign me up. I'm super pumped about this, but it sounds like there are people out there who are not, and I assume it has to be based on tradition. I assume it is like, I want my team wearing the gold helmet because that represents, I'm looking at the Packers right now as Jordan Love is running down the field celebrating with teammates. They're saying that is the Green Bay Packers, the yellow helmets with the white stripe down the middle, the G on the side, and they don't want to deviate from that.
What I don't understand is there's team, like they just showed the Cowboys. The Cowboys are what you would consider like historic uniforms.
That looks great.
They change all the time.
But it looks so good. Even right now, I'm seeing Dak Prescott kissing up to the audience, kissing up to the fans. Wow, that sounded wrong. He's not kissing up to them. Like
celebrating
He
to
was
them?
celebrating with a kiss. Kissing up to the fans. What would that even be? And he was wearing the all white. Exactly.
I'm just not as mired in tradition that way. I guess it doesn't bother me. Be fun, be entertaining. Guess what? More sales.
Now, let me ask you this, though. If they go out and wear the all whites and they lay a stinker,
we'll never
right?
see him again.
Clunker,
Never see him again.
Put them away,
Yeah.
lock them up. Like in that way, I am superstitious of like, well, it was a good run, white uniforms. I do want to get to Tom Pelissero's comments about the Green Bay Packers, saying that he would not be shocked if they make it to the Super Bowl or some variation of that. We'll get to that in the second hour of the show, but before then, Chewy's got a little package over here. Wow. Okay. Chewy?
Maybe you should
Chewy has...
Let's take a time out. Let's just go ahead.
Received a package.
That's what I was going to say.
You know,
Chewy.
that's...
He's got two packages.
Speaking
over
of
there
helmets, we thought it was a helmet.
Chewy has received a package. We're going to open it next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, you could be dealing with low testosterone, not even realize it. Maybe you just think it's part of the aging process. As you get older, you're tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself. Don't have that energy to attack the day like you once did. It doesn't have to be that way. Mentality can help with their customized testosterone treatment plans just for you. Go through the process, lowtusa.com. You book an appointment, get a blood panel done. If your testosterone levels are low, you can work with Mentality, just like I have, to have that energy to attack my day and do all the different shows that I do across our station. Go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality, their low testosterone treatments. lowtusa.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Frank Daniels, our Madison Goldsmith, has an idea.
Bring him in.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
It's great to see you, Frank. What's your idea?
It's a new company policy.
Let's hear it.
You know the world-famous Kessler's warranty?
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. Even if you lose a diamond, including the center stone, we'll replace it. All maintenance is free forever. Yes, it really is that miraculous.
Every time I hear that warranty, it blows my mind.
I propose we have a jewelry cleaning policy that's as amazing as that warranty.
What would it say?
Bring us your jewelry and we'll professionally clean it. While you wait, for free. You can come in as often as you want, and we don't care where you bought your jewelry. The only thing that matters is that you want it to look amazing again. We want that too.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion carries.
Congratulations, Frank. Your idea is now company policy.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean, green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your Higher Love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at Find Higher Love.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Gaelic Storm, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between August 1st and 11. Member FDIC.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Josh said it's garbage.
I'm so glad that Josh is getting a front row seat.
He said it doesn't work.
Chewy,
am I right or wrong?
We call that a setup in the biz.
On 94.5 ESPN.
has arrived here at our
don't walk it back.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all studios. You cut it out.
I ain't getting any action tonight, I can tell you that. It's kind of a big package. I mean,
it's got some good heft to it.
It's heavy. That was a great line.
Joshy, could you jump in here, please? I'm drowning. Could use a little life vest.
Is there any part of you guys that think maybe we should peek inside of it so we're not opening anything inappropriate? We're talking packages.
Does part of me think we should do that? Oh, absolutely. Are we going to do that? Absolutely not.
All right. What do you think it could be?
I don't know.
You thought it was a bomb.
First, I thought it was a helmet. Is that right?
If that's a bomb, you thought your rant against San Francisco got us a lot of views last year.
I just want to absolve myself of all responsibility. This is on you three.
Is it on camera?
Yes. Go ahead and open the package.
It's one way to do it.
I was
just punched.
I was looking for a pen to cut the tape.
You know what? Honestly, this is how I think Chewy opens boxes. There's just no.
Okay.
It's just okay. We've got a little paper on top.
It's not ticking, so I think we're good.
Opens it up. Some paper coming out.
Oh well, do you want to read the note? Is there a note?
It's a packing slip.
Oh, I thought it was a note. Maybe it is a note.
It is from Drinking Buds. My sponsor.
No wonder it was sent to you. You knew it wasn't a helmet. It was too heavy for a helmet. Couldn't you tell there was liquid in there?
Me and the Blammer, 4 o'clock, drinking buds.
I mean, in
that
fairness,
was very nice of them.
The only other thing he ever gets sent here are like playing cards that people want him to sign.
Oh,
so
sure,
that's why he would think a helmet would fit inside that box. I don't know how you would send it back to somebody, but in fairness to Chewy, that's probably why he thought that.
You guys want some drinking buds?
Yes, absolutely. But why didn't I just refer to it as a box? Why did I have to say package? It's I'm not sure it makes it any better, but...
Would you like some drinking buds?
I would love some drinking buds. Thanks, bud.
Joshy.
Call me in, brother.
That was very nice of
Yes,
him.
it was.
Now that's a tiny package.
But the smaller box that was
the
in
smaller
the bigger
box with the with the cans inside.
You would know.
Look at that.
There you go. Some spiked lemonade.
Oh, very nice.
All right, and you do have Blammer Thursday tonight.
I do have Blammer
Which is why
Thursday.
you won't be at the ESPN Wisconsin
time.
draft.
Well, I mean, what's more important, showing up at the draft or getting his Blammer fixed? Because Blammer's been grounded for 3 weeks.
Yes.
I didn't know it was 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't you contribute to him getting grounded?
Wow.
Who can say?
It's neither here nor there.
I mean,
That's
the dent in the garage drywall was not that big.
How big are we talking about? As big as your package?
Which one?
We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy's second hour of the show. Tom Pelissero comparing this Packers team to a very successful Packers team. Perhaps one of the most successful Packers teams in the history of the franchise. That's next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident on northbound 894 just north of Greenfield Avenue is going to be affecting your ride. It's just before you get onto the ramp to get onto 94 eastbound, so just heads up. It's off on the right shoulder, though. Eastbound 94 backing up from Mitchell Boulevard all the way through to 27th. The westbound side, about the same thing, 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. And then northbound on 43, we're seeing some backups coming up from about Locust up towards Capitol Drive. And southbound side slow right past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Slight morning chance for rain, scattered afternoon and evening storms with a high of 85. Tonight, showers and storms early with a low of 71. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the best decisions I made recently was getting an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. They're a local business that's been around for 2 decades, based right in Appleton and Waukesha. Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and include a true lifetime warranty. Even firefighters all across the country trust Good Health Saunas for sweating smoke out of their skin after fighting fire. Learn more at goodhealthsaunas.com. That's goodhealthsaunas.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Have you ever seen Reggie's Prayer?
I'm familiar with Reggie's Prayer. Reggie's Prayer.
Yes.
Which was a movie from the 90s that, were you in it?
No, Brett and Holmgren.
I know Brett was in it.
and Holmgren's scene in the movie was the best part of the movie.
Hey, you're the new coach. Told you. Told you. First game,
20 minutes of kickoff.
MC Hammer's in that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Miyagi's in that movie? Wow.
Yeah.
The Big Show's in that movie?
Star-studded cast.
Yeah, that's a star-studded cast.
What was the premise of this movie?
I don't really know.
20 minutes. Yep. Been here 17 years. Bert's been here 3.
Well, okay, I guess I got to get going. We got a game.
Do you guys want to guess at the lifetime gross of Reggie's Prayer from 1996?
$7,000.
$1.2 million.
$52,000.
My son and I invented a football play a few years ago. Here.
1979?
Yeah, Coach Carney was a busy fella. Busy guy. I call it the left coast special.
Looks like the quarterback option.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide
Gabe,
it. I'm cool as ever, she's too
how often do you think of the 2010 Packers team, the 2011 Super Bowl team?
5-6 times a week.
Seems about right. I was going to say every day. So
Yeah.
you're taking
there might be a
Sunday
day.
off for the Lord's Day or something?
Yeah, there might be a day. So I'm just, playing it safe.
Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network was talking about that team when asked about this team on the Rich Eisen show. So take a listen to what Tom Pelissero had to say about this year's Packers team.
From being there last year, every receiver and tight end on the team was a rookie or a second-year guy. Right. Now all those guys are second- and third-year guys. They all came on, it seemed like, in various points toward the end of last season. So you've still got a really, really young team. I think, this is going back to my Green Bay Press Gazette days, but that team last year reminded me of the 2009 Packers, where they were the youngest team in the NFL. They were the youngest team in the NFL perennially for like 5 years there because Ted Thompson didn't really do anything in free agency. They just constantly draft and develop. But that 2009 team, it was Rodgers' second year as the starter. They go to the playoffs. They lose that wild shootout overtime game in Arizona. But then the next year they won the Super Bowl. Like, that's the vibe I get, is they're young, they're working really hard. They got a really, really good locker room for what everybody's telling me. From being there last year, every receiver and tight end on the team was a rookie or a second-year guy.
Yeah. Sure, let's hear it again. Sorry, Chew, no gushing over here. There's still some more gushing. Do you see that comparison between the team that went ahead and won the whole thing back in 2010, 2011, and this iteration of the Packers team?
Well, they went through the back door in 10, right?
Yep. Went on the road. Wild card.
Let me just say this. And there's say 6 of them, 6 players who are young. Not all of them are going to turn into be superstars. That doesn't happen.
Do you need all of them to be superstars?
No, you don't. I mean, you're hoping for half of them. But you do need someone to emerge as a 1 and play like a 1. And Ashton was just texting us. There was a question on the YouTube line. Why do they need a number 1? You need a number 1 because typically in this type of offense, your Z gets the most amount of balls thrown to him. And then X, and then your tight ends. That's typically how it works. Your Z is 90 to 100 catches. Your X is 60 to 70. And then your tight ends combine Holmgren. Yeah, I know it's a different era. Always wanted like 75 out of the tight end position.
Could probably bump all of those up a little bit because they throw it a little bit more.
So someone has to emerge here. But let's not forget that there's a year of film. I mean, LaFleur's not going to go in and say, all right, blow the playbook up. They've already seen what we can do. Let's change everything. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. So they have what they like to do on third downs on film, how they like to spread it around on film. That kind of gets pushed away if guys really emerge, right? If Doubs emerges to be Devontae Light. Because I can tell you this, when Jason said James Jones...
He's fine.
Deflated,
I know. I can
deflated
see it on your face.
Word.
If you have a James Jones career, you had nothing wrong with that. Nothing to be.
But James Jones was
but there
never
were other
number
players
one.
to
100%.
supplement
Yeah.
James Jones.
100%.
Absolutely.
Now, if you look at that receiver roster, and we don't know how good these guys are going to be. We think we know how good they're. Their receivers in 10 were pretty damn good.
And Greg Jennings was the number one.
And then you had Jordy, who was legit.
Greg was
and then
young.
You had Cobb.
He was coming out. Well, Cobb wasn't on that team yet.
He wasn't really.
He got drafted in 11.
And James Jones was their 3.
James Jones was their 3.
Yeah.
Donald was still on that team in 2010.
He was on the backside.
Yep, but he was on the backside. But he was still.
So you need these guys to emerge.
I
That's
think
all I'm
we
saying.
are ignoring a very, very glaring and big part of what made that team in 2010, 2011 successful, Gabe. And that was the defense.
Oh, yeah.
And they got hot at the right time.
But they had stars that stepped up. Like 2009 was about establishing those stars, and I don't think that's happened yet with this team. Because like Nick Collins was all pro. Clay Matthews, even though he's a rookie, was a Pro Bowler, but you knew you had something special there. Aaron Rodgers became a Pro Bowler in 2009. Like those stars still have to emerge.
And they were top 10 in all of the important statistical categories, too. That defense was.
Yes. Like there's got to be a progression to the defense. A new system, a new defense coordinator doesn't come in and say, we're going to be a top 5 defense. There's still a learning curve. Look at what the offense last year, even though they were young, they had to learn, because there's going to be situations where like, holy cow, to call timeout, So, yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see that happening. I could definitely see them being a wild card in running the table as long as they get hot at the right time and they stay healthy. There's so much luck that goes. Because I'll tell you this, the year we won the Super Bowl in 96, where we lose 2 in a row or 3 in a row.
Lost 2 in a row.
And we were banged up. If we were banged up like that, let's say Robert, myself, and Free were out for the year, we ain't winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We ain't winning the Super Bowl. We hit a bump in the road because we were banged up, reset, and then ran the table.
So, Gabe, let me ask you this. If Pelissero is onto something here, and there are similarities between this year's team and the team that ended up winning it all in the 2010-2011 season, what would be the reason why the Packers win the Super Bowl this year? What would have to happen for this Green Bay Packers team to simulate, to mimic what that team did? I don't want them going in as the wild card, to be perfectly honest with you. And I do want to get to this Pro Football Network graphic that was put out yesterday that actually has the Green Bay Packers missing the playoffs altogether. I assume this is sort of one and the same. Like, what would have to happen for that scenario to happen? What would have to happen for the Green Bay Packers to be the Super Bowl champion like they were in 2011?
Somebody's got to establish themselves as a number one receiver. And if you ask again, why is that important? Think about Greg Jennings in that Super Bowl. Think about the tough catches that he made. Like the one play everybody wants to think about is that 3rd and 10 where Rodgers knew, hey, I can get this ball to Greg Jennings. Like you need to have somebody step up and be that guy. Somebody has to step up and be a big difference maker and playmaker defensively. Clay in that Super Bowl, everybody loves the it is time with Kevin Green. And he goes, but Rashawn Gary, you actually have to be as good as everyone thinks you are. And it has to reflect on the stat sheet. You have to be able to go out and get those sacks. Offensive line. Got to stay healthy. And you got to find a way to stop the run.
I think it's all defense. Got to create pressure with 4. That way you can do whatever you want with McKinney, bring him up to the box wherever you want, use him as a blitzer like Leroy back in the day. They have to be able to get pressure with 4. If they don't, where they got to continually blitz linebackers, and they're not going to be able to let McKinney do what he wants to do, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. You're not going to win, I don't think, with a 13th, 14th ranked defense, especially with an offense that's progressing like this, because they're going to get better every year. I mean, next year they should be humming. They should know this thing back and forth. But
Are you confident they can get pressure with 4? Because that's where it starts, right?
It's all Van Ness. It's all Van Ness, because Preston's not going to be good against the run. He's never been very good against the run.
It's better than Rashawn.
Yeah, he's better because Rashawn doesn't want to do it. But when you're in a 4-3 and you're exposed, I mean, you can kind of hide in a 3-4 as a linebacker because all you got is D-gap, and all D-gap is wide. Now you got to be a gap player, you know? And if they're just going to say, if their motto is going to be stop the run on the way to the quarterback, he's going to get his ass trapped left and right because coaches in this league are too good. He's got to be a well-rounded player. And then Van Ness has to be that other guy. Van Ness doesn't have to have 18 sacks. If he has 8, 9, 10, and Rashawn has 13, 14, 15, that's pressure with 4.
Van Ness is running with the 2s and the 3s right now.
I saw that, which is a little concerning because there's not as much gush. We need gush.
Wait.
We need more gush.
Okay, hold on.
Yep, what he's saying.
Okay,
Yep.
so...
But they tried to gush. They tried to gush because they said he had 3 sacks against the 2s and 3s.
He might have had 3 sacks, is what it said.
Hold on a damn second.
Yes.
So, an hour ago, we were gushing too much. Now you're concerned because we're not getting the gush?
Yeah.
But you need
Goldilocks
balanced
over
gush.
here.
The gush needs to be balanced, and it's not. It's out of whack.
Oh, because there's too much offensive gush.
Well, too much offense and too much individual gush. We need more gush.
Even though you would like to hear more Van Ness gush.
You just said we needed less gush.
But
Also, in the play that ended practice yesterday, that pass to Dontavian Wicks, Lucas Van Ness had a sack, but you don't get sacks in practice.
Oh, so it would have been a sack.
Yeah, he
against
got
what?
there.
Against the 4s?
We
No,
literally...
it's against Jordan Love.
Are there 4s?
They brought the little kids from the school in to scrimmage, and Van Ness got a sack against them. Is that what you're trying to say?
We literally had to put a poll in the field for you. Is there too much gush happening in Packers training camp? Yes, enough already. No, give me more. And now you want more gush?
I want balanced gush.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, they tried. How can you say he had 2 or 3 sacks against the 2s and 3s? Don't even write it then. Lie. Say it was the 1s. No one's going to know.
Except everyone that was there.
Everybody.
There are thousands of people at practice.
I know, but there's hundreds of thousands that read this stuff.
I believe what you're referring to is gush. I mean,
Yes.
it's fake gush, but that would be gush. So you're okay with Tom Pelissero gushing about the Packers and making comparisons to this team and the journey that they appear to be on compared to the 2010-2011 team and the year prior. And that was the team that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're okay with that? Because it doesn't feel like gush to you. That feels like
No.
what? Analysis?
Well, because they were the
Observations?
Weren't they the 7th seed?
I mean, they were the 6th seed.
Sixth seed?
They were the 7th. Packers were 7th seed last year. When they won the Super Bowl, they were 6 because
They were 6.
There was not a 7th seed at that point.
Which is not gush. That's like, okay. They'll go, what'd they go that year?
10-6.
10-6? I mean, I'm going to have them at 11-6 this year. Yeah, so I could see that totally happening.
Now, on the flip side, I did want to mention this before we finish this segment. Pro Football Network has a playoff predictor that they use to simulate the NFL season, and they went through the projections, guys. In the NFC, Packers are nowhere to be found, and here's how it shakes out. They have Dallas as the 1 seed, San Francisco as the 2 seed, Detroit as the 3 seed, Atlanta as the 4. So Detroit obviously winning the division. And then they have the Eagles at 5, the Bears at 6, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 7. So that would mean that the Bears beat the Packers head-to-head during the season.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions won the division, the Bears beat the Packers head-to-head, and that's why they got one of the wild card spots instead of the Green Bay Packers. Chew, do the Packers have to win the division in order to be in the playoffs, or do you think they're good enough if Detroit does have a stranglehold on this division right now to win the wild card and be one of the 7 teams?
The Bears scare me a little bit from that standpoint. Could I see that? Yes. I'd be interested to know what the Bears' strength of schedule was. You said the Packers were 19. But could I see that happening? I mean, that stretch that we talked about yesterday, Gabe, is so important. You know, that like 6 or 7 game stretch?
I hate to break it to you, but according to the same one we used yesterday, Sharp Football Analysis, the teams with the easiest schedules in 2024 are the Atlanta Falcons, which again is another team that showed up on this list of playoff teams, Los Angeles Chargers, Chicago Bears. They have it as the third easiest schedule.
They have a last place schedule. They finished in last place in the division last year.
So, and they still won 7 games. Mm-hmm. I mean, the reason I would say it's not going to happen is because I don't think Eberflus is very good. So,
following up on our conversation about the whiteout, October 20th.
Ooh, they've announced the date.
They have announced the date, and it is indeed going to be white helmet. So the Packers-Texans game at noon on CBS, October 20th, is going to be the winter warning game.
Won't be easy. Packers favored by 3?
Because they're home?
Yeah.
Winter warning in October?
Yeah, what's coming next? Winter. Duh.
We haven't even had summer yet here. Like,
you kidding me? Have you stepped outside?
Well, yeah, but we just started summer. Like, I have a feeling these types of temperatures are going to go for at least another month after August.
I've been in summer mode for months.
Was that to be a whiteout? Did they do whiteouts in?
I mean, they'll probably encourage, fans to wear.
Okay, let's have that conversation before you get on me about the winter and the summers and the seasons that I saw you were about to do.
Well, no, I was going to say, in Georgia, kids went back to school today.
Oh, I know.
Found that out yesterday.
Yeah, I was in Alabama. Really? There was a teacher I was interviewing for the story. She says, I have school on Friday.
Yeah.
School, because, again, they get out in May.
It's Alabama. They got to go a little Take them out!
Extend the school day.
I knew he was going to do that.
Well, you lob it up for him. What do you expect him to do?
Nothing to stop him. What I was going to say was... I forgot. No, I remember. How hard is it going to be to convince Packers fans, who we have notoriously had trouble convincing, not to do the wave, not to talk when the team is on offense, driving in the red zone, not to make people sit down at crucial moments? How hard is it going to be to convince Packers fans who are going to that game to wear all white?
Well, they are asking game attendees to join the winter warning by wearing white attire for the game against Houston. Is it the press release?
Is it a green or gold package? Because that's going to make a difference.
All right, hold on.
See, I think they should wear blaze orange. Now, that would be cool.
I mean, they do.
Well,
anyways.
It's not because we know the Milwaukee package is all the division games this year, so it's a Green Bay game. Whatever. I never know what the difference between the green or the gold.
So you think that makes it more likely or less likely, Joshy?
I don't know. I just know people would be more mad if it was the...
Trying to decide which package you wanted to insult there.
People would be upset if it was a Milwaukee game because they would.
I always want to insult them.
Anytime Milwaukee gets something, like everybody else gets upset.
Green package people shove it.
All right, well, here's an opportunity for the fans to show that they can follow directions. So for the game, again, the date is October
20th.
20th against the Texans. You have to wear all white if you're going to that game.
Yeah. Just wear your white jersey instead of your green jersey that day. Boom.
Or a white T-shirt or a white sweatshirt or something.
I hope it rains.
You would.
Why would you do that?
We can go to break now.
I feel sorry for anyone not watching the show on YouTube.
Well, you just had a stretch.
Yeah. He did. Showing me his chesticles. You keep getting in my ear and saying Pato, it's coming up. Hey guys, have you been out to the Potawatomi Sportsbook yet? It is one of my favorite places in all of Milwaukee. The ultimate experience with their brand new sportsbook, of course. Seating for over 200 people, a broadcast booth, a first-class bar, and their new restaurant, The Kitchen. Guys, if you have not been out there yet, this is the perfect time to do so because, well, we got a game tonight. And you can certainly make wagers on that game, but you also got the games happening over in Paris. Make some bets on those as well. It is a new era of sports betting at Potawatomi, so you can get on the action.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound 43 backed up right now from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Northbound's backed up a bit from about the Marquette interchange all the way up past Keefe. We've also got westbound 94 slowing from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes, crossing over the county line into Waukesha County. And eastbound 94, well, technically from southbound Highway 16 to eastbound 94, that's going to be a bit heavy. And then back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange as well. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a slight chance for morning rain and scattered evening storms, a high of 85. Tonight, showers and storms early, a low of 71. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
WTMJ's Brandon Snide, joined here by Leslie Smith from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. And Leslie, we have just celebrated another year of wonderful Harley tradition, and the ride you guys have coming up at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc, of course, has become an instant fan favorite. Now, what can you tell me about that fun event planned for Saturday, August 3rd?
Yeah, so this is the 27th annual Sheriff Canine motorcycle ride. Literally one of the best rides that I think I started off as my first group ride. It's a great ride benefiting a great program that keeps us all safe. If you can't do the ride, you can come and check out the demos. They have a canine demo, which is pretty cool to watch these dogs in action. We'll have food, we'll have music, vendors. It's a great family event. The kids absolutely love to see these dogs in action.
And it doesn't hurt, Leslie, for folks just to come down there and check out some bikes as well while you're down there. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson has them rolled out over the showroom floor, outside, inside. There's bikes everywhere. Where can folks sign up for this event? Where can they get more information?
Yeah, you can actually check it out on our website. We'll have the paperwork on there. You can also look up Facebook. Look up the Waukesha Sheriff's Canine motorcycle ride. They have everything online. It's super easy. And you can also register the day of, too.
That's Leslie Smith from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. Another terrific event planned over at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Get on out there, enjoy some bikes, family, and, of course, some lovely food. And in the meantime, see how these wonderful canines get to work to protect folks just like you and I. Of course, you can learn more about everything going on at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson at WISHD.com. You can also like and follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You want more physical harm beset upon people who are trying to earn a living.
I want winners. If someone has to die in order for us to win, then that's the price you pay.
On 94.5 ESPN. The top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pie.
Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach. Turkey.
The top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken.
Show me chicken!
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
All right, Gabe, what do we got?
All right. I'm off the next 3 days, so
I'm worried about this.
I'm gonna pick the hard one. I have 2 lists here. One's a little bit easier, but we're gonna do the hard one. I'm looking for the last 8 Packers quarterbacks to throw a touchdown in the preseason.
That's what she said.
Oh, God.
I sat on it for 3 seconds and I was like,
Also a weird thing to say after that.
also, that's what she said.
It's been a banner show today. In Chewy's package.
I sat on it for 3 seconds. What is happening? What are we doing?
Just a little soaking.
All right, Gabe, what do we got?
Again.
No, what is the list?
Again. The top something.
Last 8 Packers quarterbacks to throw a preseason touchdown pass.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, Jordan Love's got to be on this list. He would have thrown a preseason touchdown when Rodgers was sitting, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Also threw, one last year when he was playing in the preseason.
Didn't remember that.
So Jordan Love is number 1 on the list.
Okay. Would Clifford have thrown a touchdown pass last year? Yes.
You sure?
What are you suring me?
Sean
It was my
Clifford-
turn.
Clifford is number 2 on the list.
I thought we were teaming
All
up.
right, now it's all yours.
Joey's like, you want to be a ball hog?
Yeah,
Go ahead. He's throwing you the ball and clear it
I
out.
thought we were a team, but
We are.
okay. God, why is this so hard?
I would have gotten 7 of the 8.
Podcast
There's
guy.
one impossible one.
Or the breaks down film.
Kirk Benkert?
Yeah.
I don't know if he threw it. Let's go with it.
Number 4 on the list, Kurt
Wow.
Benkert.
Good job.
O'Donnell, O'Malley.
The coach of the Vikings?
Isn't there an O'Connor?
Captain, my captain? I don't know.
Connor Stallings?
No. Joshy, what'd you say?
I said Aiden O'Connell's a Raider.
I kind of got Benkert. So you
Yeah,
can go
again, you're not. This is weird.
I have no idea.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, number 3 is the tough one. I'll tell you that. Love's 1, Clifford's 2, Benkert 4. The real tough one's 3.
I mean, Rodgers got to be on this list, right?
No.
Eight?
Oh, in the preseason? God, he didn't play for a long time.
When was the last time he threw a pass in the preseason?
I'm also picturing another quarterback, and I can't remember his name, and I don't want to say his identifying characteristic, so...
You sure that's not an O'Donnell?
O'Doyle rules!
I'm out.
No, come on. Help me out with the...
I'm trying.
I can't say it on the radio.
Who's the kid that took a knee at the end of the game and it was...
That was Benkert.
That was Benkert.
Oh, man, 800-990-37. I don't know, because, again, I can picture... Huntley. Brett
Hundley?
Hundley?
Brett Hundley is number 8 on the list.
Pulled it out of nowhere. That's all I got. That's
Now
literally,
you can give out the
That's
number.
literally the one I was
You guys got
picturing.
half. You guys got half. That's not bad.
Joshy, I do not have a call sheet here in front of me. Computer is down. So 800-990-3776. We need callers to play top 8 at 8, the last 8 quarterbacks to throw touchdowns during the preseason for your Green Bay Packers. 800-990-3776. Reset the list. Who did we get?
Jordan Love is number 1. Sean Clifford, number 2. Do not have 3. Kurt Benkert is 4. And then Brett Hundley is number 8. So you got half the list.
Never a good sign when you put out the call and like 1 or 2 people call
I
because they're
know.
not confident. But we do have one caller. We've got Chris in Muskego here. Chris, who you got?
Boyle?
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle, guys.
Is that who you were thinking
That's who
of?
I was thinking of.
O'Doyle? Oh,
It's
my
Irish.
gosh.
I said O'Doyle as a joke. I didn't realize that was actually close.
Oh, I'm so
but
mad
the
at
laser
myself.
Show,
We should have known that one. That's
the laser
bad.
show is number 6 on the
That's
list.
bad. That's really bad. I'm mad at myself for that.
You should be mad about yourself more than that one, but
Keep it going. Did you leave us, Joshy?
Oh, yeah, he hung up.
Tim Boyle and walked it off.
Yeah, that's all he got.
All right, so we just have 3, 5, and 7 left on the list.
We have another caller here. We got John in Milwaukee. John, who do you got?
All right. You guys will set the list for me real quick?
Jordan Love is number 1. Sean Clifford, number 2. Do not have 3. Kurt Benkert is 4. Do not have 5. Tim Boyle is 6. Do not have 7. Brett Hundley is 8, with the last 8 Packers quarterbacks to throw a touchdown pass in the preseason.
Scott Tolzien.
Scott Tolzien is too far back, not on the list.
That's a good guess. I forgot about him.
800-990-3776. Looking for callers to play top 8 at 8. We only have 3? 3 remaining answers.
And 3 is the tough one.
3 is the really hard one. Again, 7, you're going to be kicking yourself. 5 is a name you know. 3 is, tough one. Tough one to remember.
Kicking yourself feels like a giveaway.
Like, I think I know who 7 is.
800-990-3776. Joshy?
He's on the phones. He's answering the phones. He's answering the calls. He's on top of it all.
Unlike us. Can I be honest? I'm like blank.
I got 7, I think.
We got a caller here. Austin, what do you got?
Well, Matt Flynn.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Too far back. Because again, Brett Hundley is 8, and he would have thrown a touchdown pass
back
in
for a second time around?
He did. He threw his last touchdown pass in 2018.
Okay.
So 2018 would have been the last time Brett Hundley. So 2018 and more recent than that.
Hundley's when Rodgers broke his collarbone.
Correct.
Yes, that's what I thought.
We've got another brave contestant here. We got Tim in Germantown.
Who do you got, Tim?
Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn was just incorrectly guessed.
You can guess again.
Yep.
Oh.
So
right.
what you need to be working
Aaron
off
Rodgers
here.
would be too far back.
Well, so what you need to be working off of here is Brett Hundley in 2018 is number 8 on the list. So 2018 and more recent than that.
More recent than 2018. Oh, man. Jeez. God, you know what? I was going with Matt Flynn because I didn't think anybody guessed that guy because he's very unknown. You know what? I'm drawing a blank.
Is Love,
maybe
is Love the last one they drafted? Quarterback.
They drafted Clifford. They drafted Hundley.
No, they didn't. Oh, I'm thinking the guy.
They drafted
Seneca
Pratt
Wallace.
too, didn't they? Bottom end of the draft.
Yeah, but he hasn't.
He hasn't
played a preseason yet.
All right. Teddy in Watertown, can you end our misery?
I'll try. Did Magoo throw one last year?
He did not.
That's a good guess, though. That would have been the tough one.
So, yeah, but it's along those lines.
He's been cut, by the way, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He gone.
Let's keep it moving here to AC in Tosa. AC, who do you got?
All right, I think I have one. Just to help out the next person that calls, I definitely don't have 3, but I'm going to guess DeShone Kaiser.
DeShone Kaiser, number 5 on the list. That's who you were thinking of, Chew.
Yeah.
That they did not draft.
Yeah.
Picked him up from the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Do you have another guess?
Yeah. No, I was just trying to help out the next person, but I'll try. I know this is a wrong answer, so I'm just going to throw him out anyways because he's a Wisconsin guy. So Scott Tolzien, but I know it's going too far back.
Correct, yeah, too far back.
Yeah.
800-990-3776. Gabe, I'm trying to Google this list.
Yeah.
I can't Google it.
It's hard.
So you
Correct.
want to know what? That's why we aren't getting any calls.
Yeah.
'Cause we know how this thing
You had to
works.
look it up.
We know how everybody is. They pull out the old computer in their pocket. They do a little tappity-tap on the screen, and usually a list will populate. But in this case, that's not how it works.
Had to do my own research this morning.
What did they give up
Aaron
for
Rodgers.
Kaiser? What did they give up for him? Wasn't it like a third?
No, it wasn't that high.
It wasn't?
It was pretty low.
800-990-3776. It looks like we have several callers on the line. Who should we go to first, Joshy?
We got Jason in Heartland here.
Hi, Jason.
Hey guys.
What do you got?
Hey, good morning. I think you just got him. I was going to say DeShone Kaiser.
Okay, do you have any other guess?
No,
Okay.
nope. That's what I was calling with. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
800-990-3776. We got another caller on the line, Joshy.
Yes, we have Dan here. Dan in Sussex. Who do you got?
Hey, I got Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill just missed out on the list.
that's
Just
another
missed
good
out.
guess.
He would have
That
been
would've been
Taysom Hill would have been 9 on this list.
You still hate him?
I mean, he's just overblown and overpaid, but I mean, good for him for getting paid.
Yeah.
But yes, Taysom Hill would have been 9 on the list.
We got another call. Oh, someone just gave up. Scott. Scott, who do you have for our top 8 at 8 list?
Whitewater's own Matt Blanchard.
No, Matt Blanchard is incorrect.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about Matt Blanchard in a while.
I mean, the fact that number 7 hasn't been...
I felt like you tried to give a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what hint to give for 3, but, like, I've tried to... Like, everybody who is called should be embarrassed. Should be embarrassed.
I'm not even going to answer this one because I recognize the caller ID. Teddy in Watertown. Teddy in Watertown. What do you got?
Dan, is it Etling?
Danny Etling is number 3 on the list. Somehow we got Danny Etling before we got number 7. Everybody needs to be embarrassed right now. Be embarrassed.
19.
Wait.
Well, I didn't know if he threw. I know he had that long run.
So Danny Etling's
Hold
correct.
on.
So we need the
Reset
last
the
one.
list.
I remember
Love is 1.
Etling, yeah.
Clifford is 2. Etling is 3. Ben Kurt is 4. Kaiser 5. Boyle 6. Don't have 7.
It's Rogers.
And Brett Hundley is number 8.
Is it Rogers?
Well, you can't guess.
Is it Rogers?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Who's that?
Jesus H. Christ Gump.
Okay, first of all,
somehow somebody guessed Danny Etling before Aaron Rodgers.
You know that we have wiped him from our brains like the Men in Black thing, right? Bloop,
whatever.
Bloop.
If you wouldn't have gone, could Aaron Rodgers be on this list, and then not guess him, and then another caller said his name, but not as a guess. How are we not guessing Aaron Rodgers?
You need to calm down.
Come
Gabe.
on, people. We got Danny bleeping Etling before Aaron Rodgers.
You need to relax.
Our show is dumb.
Yeah, what's shocking?
Anybody opposed?
Yeah.
All
Put
opposed.
it on the poll. Is this show dumb?
We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Gabe has put us in a timeout. But before we do, you guys remember me talking about being at the State Fair and seeing a sauna. We all had those moments walking through an expo center thinking, I've always wanted one of those. Is now the time to go ahead and make that purchase? I can tell you it is, because my Good Health sauna is one of the best purchases I have ever made. And you can get your own Good Health sauna this week at the Wisconsin State Fair. That's right. They have a setup at the Expo Center. Once again, you can go in, you can sit in some of their models, see which one would be best for you and your family. And let me tell you, the perks are amazing. Better sleep, better skin, better hair. My body feels better after I work out. I'm the detoxification process after I get on an airplane or sleep in a foreign hotel. All of it is worth it. Sat in my sauna yesterday for 30 minutes. It was extraordinary. So when you're at the State Fair, make sure you wander into the Expo Center. Make sure you wander over to the Good Health sauna display and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound 43 backed up right now from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Northbound's backed up a bit from about the Marquette interchange all the way up past Keefe. We've also got westbound 94 slowing from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes, crossing over the county line into Waukesha County. And eastbound 94, well, technically from southbound Highway 16 to eastbound 94, that's going to be a bit heavy. And then back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange as well. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, a slight chance for morning rain, then scattered evening storms, a high of 85. Tonight, showers and storms early, a low of 71. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Get the best of both worlds when you visit X Golf at American Family Field. Hi, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and On the Tee. I love golf. I love baseball. And if you're like me, Brewers game days are the best when they're at X Golf. Book a simulator, bring a group, enjoy the great food and beverage options, and get a unique view of the game. Right now, you can head to brewers.com/tickets and get both sim time and game tickets. Plus, hit a hole-in-one at X Golf and Fan Field any day of the year, and you and a buddy can take a trip down Bernie's Slide. X Golf and fanfield.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience. With a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I thought
Salvation
every time
Army.
that they hear their name when it's non-scheduled, that's what they want to hear.
I could hear Ashley laughing in the background.
Am I right or wrong?
He's not wrong. Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He is wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, little lady, I know you're feeling crazy.
You know when I say happy wife, happy life, and that usually means a trip to see my guy Dean the Dancing Machine at the Jewelry Center. Earrings, custom jewelry, and repair services. The Jewelry Center does it all, including top-of-the-line engagement rings. And when that day comes for my 4 boys to take their next step in their lives, you can bet they'll be heading to the Jewelry Center for their engagement rings. The Jewelry Center offers great deals and selections on both lab-grown and naturally mined diamonds for the rings. Plus, you always hear about how Gabe went to the Jewelry Center and had a great experience with the Jewelry Center specialist to pick out that perfect ring. Stop into one of their 3 locations, Brookfield, Greenfield, or Burlington today, or check out their full inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Reaction rolling in from that debacle of a top 8 at 8. Ron in the key saying, yep, we're going back to the top 8 fingers on Gabe's hands next week. Always a classic.
I do think we need to point out that after I told Gabe not to do this list, he warned us how tough it was. I don't think he's allowed to get mad at everyone for not getting it right.
That's fair.
I'm mad that no one guessed Aaron Rodgers. I'm mad that we guessed the hard one, the hardest one on the list, Danny Etling. I thought we were going to be here forever guessing Danny bleeping Etling.
But even the fact that he was number 7 on the list shows that we were sort of on the right track. It has been a while since Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown in a preseason
What, is he
game.
rubbing off on you?
I'm just saying he was number
we were
7.
Close. Like, our thought process was kind of right, and even though we were wrong, we were right.
Let me just say, your bar's a little higher than mine, which is probably the problem. That would have been great if I did it.
No, again, like, if you'd have guessed Aaron Rodgers and we were there and, like, we were struggling to get Deshaun Kaiser and Danny Etling, sure.
But I think we had eliminated him from our consciousness because it felt like it has been so long since Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown in a preseason
The
game.
fact that just you didn't throw out a Hail Mary of, you know what, I'm out of guesses. Let's guess Aaron Rodgers. Even though you said his name.
Yeah, but there's no zip to that. You know, no one wants a layup to win the game. They want to drain a half quarter or a 3-point shot. You say Aaron Rodgers.
I like to win.
Great.
I like to win
It
the
doesn't
game.
matter.
I will.
It doesn't matter if it's a layup or if it's a half
Brett in the 715 saying, watching Gabe on the YouTube stream get more and more frustrated as people did not guess Rodgers was hilarious.
Aaron Rodgers. What are we doing?
Hey, I do have some good news for you guys. Did you see that Matt Damon was on the Rich Eisen show? And Matt Damon revealed that they are talking about doing a Rounders 2. We love I thought you would be excited about that. What do you mean too late?
I mean, what's Matt Damon?
It's never too
50-something
late
years
to
old?
do the right thing.
Here's the problem. Worm's dead, right?
He's dead?
Well, no. Edward Norton's alive. I'm saying the character Worm in the movie would not be alive 25 years later.
But wait, the whole point of the conversation was that Matt Damon said he saw Edward Norton recently. So yes, the actor, very much alive.
I disagree.
And he would have to be in it. That was the whole point.
For flashback
I disagree.
scenes. Right? For flashback scenes, Worm's dead.
I think Edward Norton should be like Biff from Back to the Future 2, where he takes over a casino.
I thought you were going to say he was time traveling. And
the only way he's still alive 25 years later.
Would make his ability to win those poker games less impressive.
Leave it alone.
He did say they had a script like 10 or 15 years ago ready, but they would have to revamp that script even because so much has changed in the poker world.
The thing that's interesting to me about Rounders is it's more of a cult classic than it is like a renowned.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask.
It's not like it was a high quality award winning. It's just people loved it after the fact.
Is Rounders a good movie?
Oh, great movie.
I agree. I love it. But my point is, just because you love something doesn't mean it was a great movie. Just because you had like a connection to it or an affinity to it Edward Norton, when that movie came out, was like at the top of his career, right? He had done, was it Primal Fear with Richard Gere?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
He then, went on to do that movie with, not Pacino, De Niro, The Heist or something like that. Like there were a bunch of movies where it was just like pop, 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 Edward Norton. He was one of my favorites. Obviously, he was in Fight Club. I forgot about that one until this very moment. But like that was part of the appeal for it, was watching Edward Norton take on all of these different roles. I don't know that the movie was that good.
It was. The story's really good. Yeah. And all the different characters that they introduced, whether it is Teddy KGB, John Turturro's character, like they had a lot of high quality actors in that movie.
And those places exist in New York City.
Those like underground poker clubs.
Yeah, and everyone had a worm in their life. I had a worm. You know?
I have a friend I still call Worm.
And I called my buddy Worm. He'd go into my wallet, when I'd be asleep at night and take a couple $100. I'd be like, I'm a little light here. But you just let it go because it's Worm.
But that's what I'm saying. Worm does that to the wrong person. Worm's no longer with us.
You don't know worms well enough. Those guys last forever.
Yeah, they do.
Against
cockroach.
all odds.
They should be called cockroach instead of worm.
Yes, they are very similar.
Our Blammer could be considered a worm.
No, he's too smart. Why am I blanking on his profession?
He's a pharmacist.
A pharmacist.
Yeah.
He's too smart to be Worm.
I feel like worms are smart. They
not going through in pharmacy school.
No. They spot a sucker. Like that's the street smarts, right? Like the ability to see who you can kind of con.
Yeah.
Sure. But again, in the
Chewy
movie,
and his quarter beef that he's supposed to get.
They
spotted the sucker.
Yeah.
But
twice.
But a big turning point in the movie is when Worm gets caught at the wrong game. And they get the crap kicked out of them, and they lose all the and they lose all the money, which is what forces him to have to go to try to win some of the money from Teddy KGB.
Yeah,
like Worm pushes his luck too far.
So Chewy, you're out on a Rounders too, is what I'm picking up on.
If it was 5 or 7 years after the original, then yes. But now, too far gone. What are they going to have kids that turn into the characters?
Oh, maybe that's always a famous way of doing it, right? Like it's like Rocky.
Here's the thing,
when they did the Creed movie.
Yeah, but Creed's really good.
Poker isn't like a young man's sport. It's a money and wealth and gambling.
And you're saying you get better at it the older you get?
No, but being older doesn't preclude you from being able to continue to live that lifestyle.
Oh, you mean like an NFL player or
right.
like
you know how to play poker. You know how to play it till you die.
Yeah, but again, when they're older, I don't think they're taking the risks that they're taking when they were younger.
I think you're underestimating what true gamblers are.
Wait, hold on. I actually think we are on to a script. They have kids, they have families. The kids follow in their father's footsteps. They get themselves in some trouble, and the dads have to go in there and save the day. They got to go in there and get into the high stakes poker game or something. I'm just working on a script. Don't give me the look like, you've done better.
No,
like,
did they get in trouble with
have.
KGB? You have my money? He was the best character in the whole.
What does that say about the movie, that he was the best character in the whole movie?
He's a really good character, is what it says about the movie.
Even though his Russian accent was dog.
Really? I thought it was spot on. And he looked like my dad.
No, like one of the things that people talk about is how he like drifts in and out of like various accents throughout the scenes.
But the clothes alone he was wearing were just so lovely.
Check.
Check.
Check. Let's put it on the poll. With the news that there is a Rounders 2 being talked about, is it too late? Josh, you'll come up with some sort of phraseology for that, but is it too late to do a Rounders 2? Has the moment passed, if you will? Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district, right in downtown Milwaukee. You got deluxe accommodations, you got culinary creativity, you got on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. We were at St. Kate just last week for an event. Oh, it's always so beautiful. Walking through that lobby, checking out the art, listening to somebody who is tickling the ivories. You will love it if you go to St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. For more information, go to their website. It's stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Bone on bone, constant pain. It robs you of so much of the things that you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. I'm not talking about drugs or surgery. Hey, this is Brad Nortman. There are new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. The place to go? QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your body's own healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. If you're living with chronic pain from arthritis or injury, you need to know that steroids and surgeries and pain pills are no longer your only option. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, restore mobility, and give you long-term relief with no downtime. QC Kinetics is ready to help you get your life back. This is the future of medicine. Call for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Tired of looking at dusty, dirty, and cracked garage floors? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you how you can get a fresh new look with Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor. It's also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. Contact Showtime Floors today and mention ESPN for 10% off. ShowtimeFloors.com.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss for Road America. The best place in Elkhart Lake is America's National Park of Speed. Make the most out of your summer at Road America. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road course that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Up next is the IMSA Sports Car Weekend, August 1st through the 4th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Golfers, listen up. It's Gabe Neitzel from On the Tee, and we are heading to Scotland with our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips. That's right, Scotland. You can join myself and Stephen Watson as we head overseas to play some of the best courses in the world. This package includes green fees, lodging, transportation, and more. But there are only a limited amount of spots available, so sign up now. For information on the trip and a link for paying, you can text GOLF right now to the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line at 800-990-3776. That's GOLF to 800-990-3776.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What was a rebound? What did you just say?
Robust.
Robust.
You could say robust. Doesn't robust sound like a nice word of saying just a click below fat?
No, buddy, you're not fat.
Well,
you're
there's
rebound.
Well, Charles Barkley.
There's another R.
Round mound of rebound.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
We are looking for a few more folks to participate in our ESPN Milwaukee Fantasy Football Draft tonight. It is tonight. We can watch the Hall of Fame game at Dave & Buster's in Wauwatosa. 800-990-3776. We have made the decision collectively, since Gabe will be occupied and Chewy will be blammering, that Josh and I are going to represent the team. And that Josh is going to do the drafting and Jen is going to do the schmoozing.
Mm-hmm. Putting our best foots forward.
Right, exactly.
That's good coaching.
To our strengths.
Got to put your players in positions to succeed. That's what you got to do.
I agree. That's a fantastic way to do it. Josh, are you excited to be drafting the official Jen, Gabe, and Chewy team for our Fantasy Football League?
I'm thrilled. I'm excited to dominate because I think out of all the people there, nobody has as many drafts completed at this point of the year.
That's a very good point.
Pretty good.
I've surpassed 140 at this point.
Amazing.
So I do think we have a distinct advantage, but it is fantasy football, much like poker.
Never know.
There's a little luck involved with everything.
Absolutely.
Are we worried about the toad factor at all?
With him?
Yeah.
No.
Not at all?
No.
He's not going to take
care-
Samori Torre with the first pick?
No.
I care way
Okay.
more about winning than I do about
All
being
right,
a
I
toad.
like
But
that.
also, Joshy, we talked about this several weeks ago. I don't know that there is a Packers wide receiver that you feel comfortable is going to get as much production as some of the other ones around the league.
No, the only one that I would really consider is drafting either Watson or Wicks. Wicks because he's unbelievably cheap.
Watson catches touchdowns.
Has upside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Other than that,
I like it.
Yeah, he wants to be right and live up to this reputation that we've crafted for him of being the fantasy football guru versus gush about the Packers.
Okay.
I, for one, am very excited about this because, I get to kind of mingle and chit-chat and take photographs and shake hands and kiss babies. And there shouldn't be any babies there. Do not bring your babies to the fantasy football draft tonight at Dave & Buster's at Wauwatosa. 800-990-3776. We are putting out the cue to call because we are looking for several more people. Joshy tells me, 2 more people to participate in our fantasy football draft tonight. Hey, maybe it's not you, but maybe you know someone who wants to get in the ESPN Milwaukee fantasy football draft. They have to be at Dave & Buster's tonight. They need to call us right now, 800-990-3776, to get their name on the list so that you can participate and join us at the fantasy football draft. Do we get to go head-to-head with any of the other shows?
I believe each show has its own league.
Darn it! We should come up with something so that we can show our supremacy, our dominance in this space. Joshy's dominance in this space.
We can make a side bet with somebody, like total points scored or record at the end of the year.
Let's do it. Tomorrow morning, we're making a side bet with the afternoon show. Thanks for listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wilde and Tosh is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Backups continue on southbound 43 from just south of Brown Deer Road all the way down past Bender Road, then back on the brakes from Hampton down past Capitol. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac up to Keefe. Westbound on 94, we got backups from about 20th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side slowing down from 68th Street through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Slight